Do you like taking personality tests? For most, the answer is probably it depends. Many tests, like the HEXACO personality test, are boring, long, and tedious. How about if that test were a BuzzFeed quiz? These short quizzes are often fun, but are in no way empirically supported. But what if there were a personality test that is both entertaining and reliable? The research paper Method in the Madness suggests that video games could be the solution. These researchers created Bubble Trip as a first attempt to use video games as a format for administering a personality assessment. Specifically, Bubble Trip provides an interactive UI for completing the HEXACO personality test. But while Bubble Trip is proven to be as valid as a traditionally administered HEXACO test, it is still not as immersive as a traditional video game. This graph shows an approximate scale of the validity of a personality assessment versus how entertaining it is for the test taker. As you can see, Bubble Trip takes a step towards creating a personality test that is both entertaining and valid. We were tasked with improving upon the successes Bubble Trip achieved and creating a fully fledged video game that will still be a reliable personality test. But why make an assessment more entertaining in the first place? A traditional paper and pen test becomes boring very quickly and engagement becomes a hassle. As a result, finding new mediums for testing has become more prevalent. Additionally, while traditional tests can only gather data based on the participants' answers, video games have been recognized to provide a valuable medium to collect other potentially important data as well, like how long the participant takes to answer a question or if they come back to change their answer later on. We created this project using the game engine Unity because of its cloud-based functionality as well as its simple interface. Several of our team members already had experience with Unity, and for those who didn't, there is a large amount of documentation and resources that make the barrier to entry relatively low. Our game uses a relatively open level design and a 2D art style because this is the style that Ella, our most experienced game designer, is most comfortable with. The game is divided into 10 levels, each with a unique objective and 6 non-player characters, or NPCs. In order to gain the items necessary to progress to the next level, the player must talk to every NPC, each of whom will ask a HEXACO question that they will have 30 seconds to answer. The questions presented by the NPCs will be preloaded into the game's files as a list, and regardless of the order in which a player interacts with the NPCs, the order in which the questions are asked will stay the same. This is necessary, as the order of questions in the HEXACO test is intentional, and changing that could compromise the test's validity. The player's answer choice will be saved as a primitive integer value that can then be stored locally in our custom player data structure. All gameplay and data flow will be accomplished utilizing C# scripts within Unity. The flow of data throughout our application is unique in the sense that it is unidirectional. The information obtained from an initial in-application demographic survey and during gameplay will be stored as instance variables in the player data structure. After a test participant finishes the game, the data will be exported into a CSV file, and all player data will be wiped from the game before starting a new session. In order to ensure that all aspects of our game are working as expected, each team member will playtest the game at the end of each sprint. With the completion of our project, we hope to have successfully taken the next step towards creating a fun and valid personality test. As more researchers employ our game in their studies, evidence will be gained for or against video games as a testing medium. If the results prove favorable, it could be a stepping stone to redesigning assessments in all fields, not just limited to psychology.